Not Worth the Time with Wade Taylor. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Not Worth the Time. We're here. We're doing it. It's been another fantastic 2 weeks, and I'm putting it out late again. Oh, shucks. It's just becoming a regular occurrence at this point, isn't it? What is it? 1 time's an accident, 2 times is a pattern. It's probably not a saying at all, but it is now, and I'm holding myself responsible. It's okay. How you guys doing? Hope you've had a fantastic week. That's why I was late doing this, because I was just having a good fucking weekend. Okay? I was just having a good time. Watched the fiance compete in a horse show. Watched golf on TV. Went and played golf. You know, to tell you what, I got a lot of shit done this past weekend, and it's all thanks to waking up early. Waking up early is an underrated thing on the weekends. I think we all look at the weekend and we've been tricked, we've been bamboozled, lied to, propagandized to believe we have to sleep in every weekend. And I'm telling you, that's just not the case. You know, now I'm not saying it doesn't have its place. We should sleep in now and then. Sleeping in after a good hangover, that's a good time. Always a good idea to sleep in at that. But, man, if you want to get some shit done, you know, I hate to say, but maybe those rise and grind guys got something figured out after all. Maybe these hustle influencers did crack something by saying you need to get up earlier. You know, I think that's still dumb. I hate waking up when I don't have cool stuff to do. You know, I got to go do fun things and I'll wake up. It's crazy how your body knows. A lot of people probably wake up super early for work. You know, getting up at 5:30, 6:30 in the morning. You know, that's a pretty early rise. You know, I'm sure there's people out there getting up 4:30 in the morning, you know, doing their thing for their normal job. And that sucks. Nobody wants to get up and go to work. But boy, howdy, to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, get dressed, stretch a little bit, get down to the golf. Oh, man, you're right there. You go to the golf course at 7 in the morning, you don't even give a shit. You're on time, actually. I walk into the door late to work all the time, 5-10 minutes late. Never egregious, just, you know, a little bit of have to make it up on the back end of the day because you stop and get a coffee somewhere that's overfilled. You stop on the way to work and the barista, for some reason, when they give you a black coffee, somehow fills it up past the point of the lid in the cup. How's that work? Nobody knows. See the past episode to know my real thoughts about that. But you stop in, get a coffee on the way to work, and now all of a sudden you're late 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah, it happens to the best of us. You know, it's not that big of a deal. But, man, you set up a tea time on Sunday. Woo-wee! You'll find out how on time somebody really can be. There's no missing tea times. You get there, you're there 15, 20 minutes before like a gentleman. Just ripping to go at it, dude. I had one of the most productive Sundays I've had in forever, dude. Just got up, you know, got dressed, went and played golf at 7 a.m., got done in 3 hours. 3 hours playing golf, walking 18. That's impressive. Some of you probably don't understand that because you don't play golf. And that's moving. I know people who ride in carts who can't get done in less than 4 hours, okay? They can't it's 4-hour carts. And they're on wheels, people, and they can't finish it. So I got that done by 10 a.m. And then I went home, mowed the lawn right after that. Just ripped off the Sunday best. I ripped off my Tiger Sunday red because Lord knows I'm out there LARPing like I'm going to go low. And mowed the lawn, weeded. Oh, man, I was crushing it. And then cooked my meal prepping, cooking my lunches for the week. That's getting after it on a Sunday. I got that all done by 2 p.m. on a Sunday, you guys. 2 p.m. on a Sunday. And then after that, got done all that, you think, oh, wait, it's the day of rest. You gotta rest, man. You're gonna take a nap? Please tell me you took a nap on the day of our Lord. No, that's when I recorded a podcast. And clearly not this one since it's late. I did the episode of Who Gives a F that comes out later this week. Check that out if you want to see me riding on a fucking high note on a good Sunday afternoon. Yeah. And then, yeah, just had a good time. All right. And I think that's partially because of when I've switched up things of my routine. I'm very much a creature of habit. I think a lot of people are. You end up setting your routine and stuff. And I've realized that like when I like to do my routine has been, I think, less optimal. I've been trying to jam too much into one day. I need to spread it out. I used to do all my shopping, the cooking, the cleaning, maybe some yard work. And, you just didn't have any other things you could do on Sunday when you're doing all that stuff in one day, right? So I decided, and I noticed recently, it's been fucking horrific going shopping on Sundays. I don't know what day you guys like to go to the grocery store. My day was Sunday. I like getting up, trying to get down to the grocery store around 9:30, 10-ish. That's when I like to go in. That's when I knew the people working there. I knew their shifts. I was on a first-name basis. If I wanted the organic rice and there wasn't any out on the pallet, I felt comfortable to go and ask if they could check in the back. Did it take me a year in order to feel comfortable and just even to talk to one of the associates? Yes, I would just take the brown rice and go home otherwise. But now I've switched it up because Sundays just got crazy. I don't know what it is about. I go to Aldi and it's just been nuts on a fucking Sunday morning. Sunday morning, I would assume, isn't going to be that bad. Especially around you go 9 o'clock, that's when all the church folk are gone. Apparently, the clientele of Aldi aren't church folk. No, all the church folk go to Fairway, but they're closed on Sunday, so you can't beat them anyway. So then if you go to Fairway on a Saturday before Mass, oh, dude, you're in fucking trouble. You can't go to that store when they're closed on Sunday, and you can't go the day before they're closed because it's a mad dash because those Christian folks know that that's their like Amish day, okay? They can't go get stuff. They can't go to Fairway. Ugh. And Lord knows you don't want to go to Hy-Vee. Ugh. Don't want to go there. So I've switched it up. I switched it up this week, and I think I'm going to start doing it more often. And that's grocery shopping Saturday. Is this interesting to anybody? I fucking hope so. I found it was so much easier. Saturday evening, to be specific. Just late in the afternoon on Saturday, And you can do that after anything, You go out shopping all day, hitting up the malls, doing window shopping, maybe buying yourself a new hoodie for this coming fall. You're checking out your new wardrobe. You're going to the mall, hitting the town. On the way back, hitting up Aldi or hitting up Target on the way home. Why the fuck not? Why not? It's one more stop. You were planning on going to Target anyway. You were going to go. You were going to go peruse the little $5 area. You were going to go see what Hearth and Hand has for their new summer collection. Okay? You're going to stop at Target anyway. Make it a super Target and get your groceries while you're there. It makes life so much easier. I don't know why I've been fighting it. Nobody's there on a Saturday. Nobody's inside a Target on a Saturday evening in the grocery section, okay? You know who are? People got their shit together, though. Every person I saw shopping on Saturday evening was somebody who had a game plan for Sunday. They were really John Grudening their way through those grocery section. Let me see your snap count. And they were just on it, prepared, doing it. And you know what? I felt prepared. I had a list going into Target, got everything I needed for the next one. The next day, I was just worry-free. Didn't even have to worry about driving into town at all. I just had to be right here, okay? Golf course ain't that far from my house. So 7 a.m. tee time, right at the golf course, drive a little tiny drive back from the golf course to home, start hitting all the chores, dude. Never had to drive 25, 30 minutes into town. Mwah. Beautiful. And that's how you efficiently get a weekend going. And that's how you start the week on a good foot. I hope you guys started on a good foot. And, you know, I'm not saying my routine's perfect. You don't have to listen to anything I say. You could think, well, everything I do is bullshit, and it probably is, but it makes me feel better. And I hope you guys find something that's making you feel better, okay? That's what it's all about. Finding stuff that makes you feel better and makes you feel productive. That's what we're trying to do. It's the year of productivity in a positive way, okay? We're not doing those hustle and grind guys I complimented earlier. They got one thing right, but everything else feels a little like sales pitchy and pyramid schemey, okay? Every time I see one of those posts, it makes me think that there's an Enron scandal coming. It's never good with those guys, okay? Just stay away from the hustle and grind guys. Maybe if you want to try getting up earlier, try it out. You got to go to bed earlier, though. Can't go to bed late and get up early. You're going to crash and burn, okay? It's not a good look, you know? But year of productivity and improving yourself, that's what you should make it. I don't know why I'm making this motivational. I'm just stoked on how good of a weekend I had. It was great. If I would have done a stand-up show, it would have been the perfect weekend, you know? Hung out with the fiance for a good portion of it, getting to watch her do the things she loves to do. I got to, you know, if just somehow I would have got to do a stand-up show, boom, perfect weekend. Solid 8 out of 10. There's always one thing that could bump up the score. You know, it's hard to get a perfect score. Boy, howdy, was it a fun weekend. It was great. It's always nice to be productive. I think people really overlook how nice it is to make a checklist and check off of it. That's something my fiance has got me on just full tilt as of late. Over the last year and a half, I watch her. She's really organized and likes to make lists. And she likes checking off stuff. And when you start making lists, dude, it really is an addicting thing to just watch the scoreboard get checked off, dude. It's awesome. You gotta love it. And that's probably why I like it, because it reminds me of when I played baseball and when I was playing catcher behind the dish. I could see the scoreboard at all times. I could see the balls and the strikes. And you could see, okay, we're trying to get this batter out. There's the one light bulb for a strike. There's the two light bulb, and there's the third one. They're out. You know, it's just fun. You just see the checklist happening, and I really appreciate that you got me on that. You know, try it. Try making a list sometime. Don't overwhelm yourself. You know, just make a little tiny list. It's a little tiny. Just write 2 things down. Just be like, you know, just write 2 things you got to get done, and just watch how you just writing it down and then seeing it, putting it somewhere where you can see it, and you're just like, I gotta fucking cross that thing off, otherwise it's going to keep staring at me. It becomes the enemy. The list is the enemy, and you must defeat it. The only problem is the list has infinite lives, because if you complete one list, you make another list, and it keeps coming back. The list resurrects itself. It turns out once you defeat one opponent, it resurrects itself the next week. Oh, you meal prep this week? Oh, yeah, you defeated it. Oh, but guess what? Meal prep's back the next week. God damn it. You mowed the lawn. You defeated the lawn. Oh, guess what? Lawn grew again. You got to grow again. That's the only problem, is you're stuck in an infinite loop of doing things. You just got to find a way to enjoy it. Enjoy doing that stuff. Anyway, I don't know what I'm yammering about at this point. I think my allergy medication's been screwing with my brain, so I'm thinking even in weirder terms now. Yeah, that's right. I had to finally admit it. Finally admit that I have allergies. I got to take fucking pills for them. It sucks. You know, it's weird how long I probably suffered with allergies and just refused to get it checked out or even think that was a possibility. I just assumed every spring and fall when it got the way it did, I was just like, yeah, I just got the cold that's going around. No, you're fucking sick. I'm convinced after I've figured this, I didn't say I figured it out. Fiance figured it out. Of course she did. I was just a stubborn man doing what I do. Just like, oh, well, my nose is constantly running. Well, this is just life now. The other week, what happened is I had, my ear was completely plugged. My right ear completely shut. I couldn't hear anything out of it. Couldn't hear a goddamn thing. And I was just fully prepared to be like, well, this is life now. I'm just partially deaf. And she's like, No, your sinus cavity's plugged. Because apparently somehow your nose and your ears are connected. And I know that that's true, but you forget, and it sounds so crazy when you hear it and think about it, that the fact that all this shit is connected in your skull somehow, and your ear can get plugged because your goddamn nose is running. Yeah, so I had to so I had to deal with a ear ache until it finally went away because it relieved the pressure of my sinuses. And I used to just suffer through that. Just like a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there who say every year, yeah, I just got the bug that's going around. I used to be one of those people. I just got the bug that's going around. There's a cold going around and I got it. No, you have fucking allergies. You have allergies. You don't even have to go to a doctor. Just take Claritin for like a month and see if it helps. I promise. If you still feel like shit, then maybe, yeah, you actually have a cold. But if you take Claritin, you might find out all of a sudden, I'm Claritin clear. Holy shit, I can see now. Suddenly grass is greener and I'm able to get up at 5 in the morning. Because I'm getting well-rested sleep. And that's probably why I've been able to get up earlier and at an easier pace now. Because I don't feel like I'm stuffed up due to allergies. This episode is brought to you by Pfizer. No, it's not. Yeah, so it sucks. And it's one of those things, you probably should never diagnose yourself. But, you should try things if you think you got something going on that maybe you could just solve with an over-the-counter medication, Try some out. Consult with a doctor. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to consult with a doctor with any medication. But the worst thing you'd do, other than just taking advice from yourself, is going on to Google and asking it what to do. We all know people who have Dr. Google as their personal care physician. And it's not pretty, is it? So, I found this article and I thought we'd read through it and find I'm sure some fun examples of what's that rash? Put some thought into asking Google for medical help. So, this isn't discouraging you from asking Google for medical help. Their AI will eventually be good enough to diagnose you based off of the incoherent rambling you slam your keyboard into your keyboard. But apparently you need to just be a little more specific. Let's read on here. This is from AP News. Dr. Google often on call for worried patients, but it may not give the best advice. Doctors say internet searches for medical information should be done cautiously, especially with artificial intelligence playing a growing role. Damn, I knew it. There's got to be so many people. There's so many hypochondriacs out there. There's got to be 1 billion people now constantly trying to self-diagnose using AI. Oh, man. That poor robot. All these poor AI robots, they're learning how to code. They're learning how to be engineers. They're becoming doctors. They're basically becoming everything that an immigrant parent could ever want. Anyway, information for the right website to can teach patients that. Let me restart here. And this is why I was a failure and never became a doctor like Dr. Google. Because I can't fucking read. Information with the right website can teach patients about symptoms and prepare them for doctor's visits. But poorly done research can inflame anxiety as well as someone's reaches in the waiting room. When someone reaches the waiting room. It's important to know the source of the information you're finding to avoid trying to diagnose your health issue. Dude, I didn't even think about that. There's probably a ton of people who are going to emergency rooms or doctors' waiting room because they Google search something and now they're just clogging up the pipeline, taking a doctor visit from somebody who actually needs it. I mean, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who do this all the time, but I'm sure that's happened a lot. You're just clogging the pipeline like that. It is weird. I guess it probably is smart that you do some kind of research to maybe bring to your doctor and be like, hey, I looked up my symptoms. I thought maybe this sounded kind of close to it. and maybe point them in the right direction, I guess. But it also seems kind of rude. I feel like if I was a doctor and somebody came in and was like, hey, yeah, doctor, I definitely have this very rare influenza that can only be found in the Czech Republic between the years 1940 and 1950. Like just some weird like disease that only existed for a 10-year span or some shit. You're like, yeah, that's not a thing. I feel like I'd be infuriated as a doctor. That's like when you have dudes who go into mechanic shops and they try to tell the mechanic what to do. I'm sure it's the same exact things. Okay, let's see here. What's the source? When you do a search, don't automatically click the first link. It may not contain the best answer. Some companies pay to have their website listed at the top search result. For those may be listed as sponsors. Scroll to the results that come from a source you can trust with medical information. That can include big health systems such as the Mayo Clinic or sites ran by the government agencies like the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. I love that this has to be published in an article anymore. This was shit we learned in like high school and freshman year of college about doing research for our papers. And it was so, I think about this a lot because those teachers, they were so new to like what Google searches were. And that's when kids were like just plagiarizing papers left and right, dude. I never plagiarized a paper. I don't know. I've always had a fucking weird moral compass where, like, I could get away with cheating. I knew so many ways I thought about cheating. I'm told multiple people how they could cheat. There were ideas, good ideas for cheating. And I would just pass them along to people that I know would use them. Mainly, one, I wanted to see if they would work. And two, I couldn't be held liable if they got in trouble because I didn't do it. They the ones that did it. I was just like, you could probably cheat this pretty easy. I just wanted to see if they could do it. I was a mastermind at that. But I never did it myself because I didn't want to deal with getting in trouble. I always hate getting in trouble. There's nothing more that makes me just shiver than thinking that I might be in trouble in some way. But yeah, those teachers had to like try to tell us how to use Google like searches. And back then, that's when I was in college, like Google was like really good at searches. There wasn't a lot of this like paid, so your shit shows up at the top kind of thing. So the best stuff that was most relative to however you search would pop up at the top of Google. So then they'd be like, don't always use the first source, and they'd tell you all that stuff, and then everybody would use the first three sources. Nobody ever tried something else. I swear to God, they wanted us to go to the library more often than not. I remember in high school, they made us do that. Like, Google was readily available, and I had a teacher say we couldn't use internet websites as a reference. We had to go to the library and find books, which is funny because I still went to the internet. You just searched for books in Google. It was going to find them for me, okay? I don't have to go to the library, be limited to the knowledge within this building. Anyway, we've gotten used to clicking the first link, says John Grohl, a psychologist who specializes in online behavior. For health information, especially when it's personal, you want to think about it. Should I use AI? I'm going to go ahead and say no. That depends on what you tell it. Or what it tells you, sorry. It depends on what it tells you. Yeah, if it tells you you're not dying, you're fucking solid. Listen to the robot if it says, hey, man, you're not going to die. If the robot says you have cancer, definitely don't believe that robot. Because the robot believes humans are cancer. We are a plague brought off onto this earth. Okay, more people are using artificial intelligence to get quick answers pulled up from a variety of internet sources. Some searches also will generate an AI summary at the top of the results page. I was using Google earlier today to do that. But an AI answer is not to say where it got the information. That makes it hard to judge its credibility. AI also can be prone to, what is it? hallucinations, an industry term issue that causes technology to make stuff up. Be especially wary with no source being cited. Holy shit, AI is just making stuff up? Yeah, you got like herphagonosyphilides. Dude, AI is just making up new diseases and telling hypochondriacs what they got. That's wild, dude. Uh, AI's playing doctor like a 5-year-old. It's like, your arm's broken. I talked about how I had my tickle in my throat. Oh, dude, that is hilarious. That is dude. AI's got a sense of humor, dude. They're just fucking with people who have a severe mental disorder. Like, I feel like hypochondria has got to be a classified medical disorder, like a mental medical disorder, because that seems so habilitating. But man, that's too funny that their AI makes shit up. Holy fuck, that's great. What should I ask? How you phrase your question plays a big role in the results you see. Doctors say patients should search for information based off symptoms and not an exact or an expect. Oh wait, sorry. Doctors say patients should search for information based on symptoms, not expect diagnosis. You got to ask a very beginning the right question, says Dr. Eric Booz for the Cleveland Clinic. That means asking what causes a lump to form under your skin instead of, is a lump under my skin cancer? That's very true. Those are two different questions. Because it could be cancer, or it could just be a lump under your skin that is formed because you got an ingrown hair, which suck ass. I get them all the time. Being hairy blows. Focusing on the diagnosis means that you're missing the explanation, especially if you just click the very first link in the results. For some issues, you should skip search altogether and just have, if you're having chest pains, experiencing dizziness, or signs of a stroke, seek help immediately. Yeah, god damn it. We live in such a fucking weird world where you gotta say that now. There's probably so many people who die of heart attacks now, and they're trying to search what they might be having instead of just going to the doctor right away. Probably fucking happens all the time. You don't want to delay something just that you should be treated within a certain amount of time, says Dr. O.G., medical director at Brown University in Health Urgent Care. Can the internet diagnose my problem? No, leave the real doctors who are trained to ask questions to leave diagnosis. Blood in your urine could mean cancer. It also could mean you be caused by kidney stones or an infection. Yeah, that's fucking terrifying. Oh my god. But why did they go with that? Can we pick a different thing that you could? I don't want to think about blood in my urine. Ugh. Unexpected weight loss can be a sign of cancer, or it could reflect an overactive thyroid or a new job that causes you to move around more. Yeah, that's fucking true as shit too. Oh man. I love how they're basically looking at how everything that we look up always is cancer. Some testing and a visit to the doctor who knows your medical history may be the best medicine in this situation. There's a lot of symptoms that overlap between minor conditions and major medical problems, says Dr. Sharon Sams, a board member at the American Academy of Family Physicians. Cool. Nice. Wow. What do you know about that, guys? I thought there was going to be another sum up there, but clearly there wasn't. But yeah, I guess it's fine if you look up medical stuff online, but go to a fucking doctor. Go to a good doctor. Find a good physician. Get a yearly checkup. I'm due for one. I've been putting it off just because I'm Not that I'm lazy. I just keep forgetting to schedule it. Guess what I'm doing? Putting it on a fucking list, and I'm going to get it done. That's what I'm going to do. And you know what you guys should put on your list? Checking out puntinggame.com. That's right, everybody. Puntinggame.com is where you can find this show, Not Worth the Time, every other week, hopefully on time on Mondays. And you can find my other show, Who Gives a F, with my older brother Nathan, where we talk shit on a weekly basis. That comes out every Wednesday. Puntinggame.com is where we house both of those shows, and you can find all those shows. You can find all of the old podcasts that we've had. We've had several shows on the network over the years. There's thousands of hours of content at this point on puntinggame.com. So go over there and check that out. And if you want to watch this show, you want to watch this shit show and watch me wander around, whip my head around, whip my hair back and forth, you want to go to youtube.com, search Comic Wade Taylor. That's Comic Wade Taylor at youtube.com. And you can find video versions of this show, Who Gives a F, clips of my stand-up, clips of the 2 podcasts, funny skits I've been doing. Been putting out a lot of skits. Go find that. There's lots of content out there on that YouTube. So go to the YouTube, Comic Wade Taylor, hit subscribe, hit the like buttons on the stuff you like. We really appreciate that. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Thank you for checking out the channel. Really appreciate you liking the content and liking it enough to subscribe. Means the world to me, so thank you for doing that. And guys, if you really want to support the website, you want to support this show, you want to support Who Gives a F, you just want to support it anyway, the best way is just watching this stuff or listening to it. That's all I care about, is that you're checking out the content and enjoying it. But if you for some reason think, wow, I wish I could give him a few bucks and also have a sweet t-shirt or a hoodie to go with it, well, just in luck, there's the Punting Game shop at puntinggame.com, guys. The Punting Game shop, you can find t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, mugs, all sorts of cool stuff to represent your favorite shows here at puntinggame.com. And if you go to that store and you order something, don't forget to use the promo code NWTPOD. That's NWT Pod. That gives you free shipping at checkout. NWT Pod gets you free shipping at checkout. So go to that store, get yourself something nice. We've kept the prices as low as we can. We get like through $2 or $3 or $4 or $5 maybe at the most on all the stuff, because we wanted to keep prices low. There's nothing I hate more than overpaying for merch for people you like. So I'm not going to do that. So get yourself something nice if you want to support the website. We appreciate it. Guys, this has been Not Worth the Time. I'm Wade Taylor. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. And remember, don't do anything I wouldn't do.